Welcome to Module 7 of your PLP training course. This module, Module 7, actually has two parts, a Part 1 and a Part 2. So this module is Part 1 of the course. This module is designed specific for MHS teachers, and let me tell you why. If you remember from previous modules, all the other buildings within the district, the data is able to be exported in a much more user-friendly way than it is at MHS. For example, elementary data can be exported by homeroom teachers. All kids are linked to a homeroom, so that's an easy export. At Bunsold and Creekview, kids are teamed and they're linked to a team, so you can export the data by team. At Early College, all the students are linked to an advisory group. They call it nucleus. So all kids have a nucleus teacher. We can export by nucleus. The Tri-Academy export's fairly simple because there's only 61 kids, but MHS is a little bit more difficult because you don't have a homeroom, you don't have a nucleus, you don't have an advisory. So we wanted to create a 7th module just specific for your building so that you had an opportunity to organize your data in a way that was a bit more nimble and user-friendly. I'm going to create the module to show you how to do it, and then you're going to have time after this training course to actually do it for yourselves. So let me show you how. On my Google Drive, I have a folder for your building, MHS PLP data, and every single staff member or faculty member in your building has a spreadsheet. There's like 60 something spreadsheets in here. These have all been shared with you. So if you can't find it in your email, go over here to shared with me and then search for PLP _ your last name and you should find it. For the purposes of this training module, let's pretend like I am Mrs. Watts. So this is Jenny Watts' PLP data. You can see her teacher's name, Mrs. Watts, period, the student's names right here, the student ID, and then we've got section 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 of section 1, the first 5 questions of section 1 right here. And then beside it, you can see we've got section 2. Question 1, 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, 2.4. As we acquire additional data points, those sections will just be added, to the end of your spreadsheet down here. If you look through Mrs. Watts' spreadsheet, you'll see she's got rows and rows and rows of data, like 150 rows. The way it is now, it's not user-friendly, it's not nimble, it's not helpful to you at all to look at 150 rows of data. So let me show you what we'd like you to do as far as what is required of you to organize your data. And you're going to do this for yourself in just a minute, but I'm going to show you how. So if you go to period B, see this little arrow? If you click on this arrow, it allows you to filter by period, which is what we're going to do. So if I click on this, I can see Mrs. Watts has a 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 6th, and 7th period. I want to clear the filter, and let's just say period 1 for now. So click on period 1 and then hit OK. What's going to happen is it's only going to give me Mrs. Watts' 1st period students, and it's going to take away all the other students in her spreadsheet. Okay, now instead of 150 rows of data, I've got, what is this, maybe 20? Not very many. So we're going to copy what's on this screen, what's on this spreadsheet, this filtered data set, and make a new tab down here below on the spreadsheet. So watch what I do. I'm going to click up here in this box. The whole table is highlighted. I can right click, copy, and down here, I'm going to hit this little plus. It makes a new tab. I'm going to right click, rename, I'm going to call it period 1. Now, up here in this topmost corner, right click, paste. Now, I've got Mrs. Watts' 1st period only class. Okay, so now I'm looking at 20 data points instead of 150. Okay, then I'm going to come back here to this initial screen. Okay, I'm going to click on this little arrow again. Now, I'm going to unclick period 1, and I'm going to select period 2. It's going to refilter the table and only give me her 2nd period class. Okay, now I've got Watts, 2nd period, another data set that's only about 20 kids. Same thing, I'm going to come up here in the corner, highlight, right click, copy, come down here, make another tab. I'm going to rename, there we go, period 2. Put my cursor up in this very topmost box, paste the data in. Now I've got period 2. And then I'm going to keep replicating the process. Now I don't want period 2. I already have period 2. I already have period 1. Now I want period 3. Okay, same thing. I'm going to continue the process until I have a period 1, period 2, period 3, period 4, period 5. I'm going to have all my periods across the bottom of my spreadsheet. Okay, we'd like you to do this immediately following this training module so that once you have this first step done, you're able to do the next step, step 2.